Hi, this is Kelsey from the Ooni Test Kitchen, and today we're making a Detroit-style pizza on our Ooni Pizza Steel. To start, we're gonna take our stand mixer and we're gonna put in our water and yeast. We'll put our flour and salt in. We have our dough hook attachment, which we're gonna put on, and we're gonna mix this on low for about 4 to 6 minutes. Awesome. So our dough's been going for about 6 minutes. It's looking super smooth. This dough is a little wetter than normal pizza dough, so it's not gonna come up to like a full tight ball. So we're gonna take it out of our stand mixer and we're gonna let it proof in a bowl. Dough tends to stick to your hands, so if you have a little water on your fingers, it should all come out like so. I kind of like to get it into a kind of a circle, a tighter ball, and this way when it's proofing, it'll proof evenly. So we're gonna cover it up and we're gonna let it proof for an hour before we do a fold. So it's been about 1 hour, so we're gonna do our first fold on this Detroit style dough. I have a bowl of water for my fingers, so I'm just gonna get them wet, and we're gonna basically just fold the corners of the dough over itself. This is gonna build the gluten structure, and then I'm gonna try and kind of just fold the whole thing over into the other side. Then we're gonna cover it up and we're just gonna let it sit for another hour. So our dough is properly proofed, so it's time to form. When forming the dough, we're gonna sprinkle a little flour onto the table, and I'll kind of just scrape it onto the table right there. And sprinkle a little top. Now this makes 2 doughs in our 8x10 Detroit style pans. To form, we're just gonna kind of fold it over on itself and tuck it right in. I don't form these super tight. Kind of just let the dough fold in over itself. We're gonna drizzle a little olive oil, and we're just gonna let it proof in there. And now we'll wrap these in plastic wrap and put them straight in the fridge overnight. So our Detroit style pizza has been resting in the fridge overnight. We just pulled it out about 15 minutes ago. So what we're gonna do is just gently kind of lift the dough off the edge, kind of loosen it up. And if it's starting to stick, just dip your hands in a little bit of water so we can push the dough out to the edges. When you see that the dough is springing back in, that means we want to let it rest about 30 more minutes before we stretch it to the corners. All right, now we're gonna cover it up. So, it's been about 30 minutes since we've stretched out our Detroit style pizza. What we're gonna wanna do now is preheat our oven to about 500 degrees with the Ooni Pizza Steel inside it for about 45 minutes to an hour. And as we unveil our Detroit, we just wanna stretch it out to the corners, and we wanna make sure we're using a little water on our fingers so it doesn't stick. Water is our friend in this situation. And it's looking great. So what we're gonna do is wanna cover it up and then let it sit for another about 30 minutes. Our Detroit style dough has been proofing outside of the fridge, and it's bubbly, it's reached all the corners of the pan, and it's ready to be topped and cooked. We're gonna top it cheese first. We have some mozzarella, and then we have a cheddar and mozzarella blend that'll go on the edges. And we're gonna just do a liberal sprinkle of cheddar or mozzarella cheese, and we're gonna do a full coverage. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our cheddar mozzarella blend, and we're just gonna cover the edges of the crust. This is gonna give us a nice caramelized cheese crust. We're just gonna go fully around the edges. It looks like way too much cheese, and it is, but that's the fun part about Detroit style pizza. It's for your health. Next, we're gonna top it with some pepperoni, and then we're gonna do our sauce in these racing stripes. We're gonna basically do them down the sides, long ways of the pizza. All right. And then we're gonna top it off with a little bit more pepperoni. And to finish it off, we're going to grate a little Parmesan cheese on top. All right. Now it's ready to go in the oven. So, our Detroit pizza has come out of the oven. It's gooey, crunchy, and we're gonna wanna get it out of the pan as quickly as possible. That way the bottom stays nice and crunchy, every slice is great. So what you need is a towel, the pan is really hot, and then a fish spatula or any baking spatula. This way we're gonna be able to scrape along the sides to keep that cheese together. Man, all right, that looks great. And you can see that we have this awesome caramelized layer of cheese around the edge of the pizza. That's from that cheddar mozzarella mixture. We have a nice rise. The bottom is looking excellent, golden brown. We've let our pizza cool on the rack for a couple minutes. Now we're gonna slice it and enjoy. Let's see if I can find some ranch.